Hey Gold Rush fans, episode 19, it'll be here before you know it, so let's break it down. Welcome back everybody to Gold Rush Minute. If you're new to the channel or a subscriber, I'm Gold Rush Minute, where I break down the most recent episode of Gold Rush and all its spin-offs. We talk about the minors and go over past episodes of the series. So let's start with Team Misfits first. So after the drama of the dozer from last week, and I just wanted to point this out, JB the mechanic, he had a bad feeling about this, so it's kind of like he knew something bad was going to happen or it was going to break. But let's blame Brandon because, that's easier. So now that's out of the way, let's talk about what they actually did last week. So they did pull 18 ounces of gold from the ground, giving them 111 ounces for the season. They did beat last year's mark, so good job, guys. This unfortunately will be the only good news from here on out. So the dozer was fixed last week by Buzz, not JB the mechanic. And Buzz did say that 3 out of the 4 bolts did break when he was fixing it. He did do some welding, but with the amount of use it's going to get, this is going to haunt the team sooner than later. So let's talk about the gold now. So the guys are 389 ounces short of that 500 ounce goal. And there's honestly no way they're hitting that goal this year unless there's like some TV magic happens. And with that being said, if Fred is shown this week, they're going to have, I think, their best week to date. They're going to mine 25 to possibly 30 ounces of gold. Next up is the Winchester boys. So personally for me, I would love to see these guys a lot more, but that's just me. So the Winchester boys, they have an amazing trommel, and with the advice from Tony about the hydraulic ripples and leasing a rock truck, these guys in my opinion are unstoppable. So with that being said, let's talk about the gold. So the guys are just over 47 ounces of gold, and with their equipment they should have zero issues hitting and surpassing 200 ounces for the season. With that being said, this week they're going to have one of their best weeks ever of over 50 ounces of gold, putting them just under 100 ounces for the season. Next up is Team Turin. So last week was a huge wake-up call, and Jason, he let Dave have it. The week was full of potential, but ended up being a disappointment of only 6.86 ounces of gold. So let's talk what's in store for the guys this week. So Mother Nature is going to wreak havoc this week, and their pumps, it's going to be working overtime to keep the cut dry. Because of this, they're going to have some sloppy pay dirt. The Eagle, it's going to break down due to this. Nathan, he's going to be overworked, stressed to the max, and he'll be rethinking this potential opportunity. So Team Turns at 12.44 ounces of gold. So they're pretty close to that 30 ounce mark. But this week, if they're shown, they'll mine maybe 5 to possibly 6 ounces of gold. Hey everybody, I just want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel, and if you haven't, it only takes a moment and it's free to do. Next up is the Claytons. So Golden Acres is becoming more of a nightmare for the brothers than anything. There's no dozer in sight, and Fred won't let them borrow his, so the brothers, they're up the creek without a paddle. So the Gauntlet Cut's been paying the bills and keeping them afloat, but they can't rely on this for the rest of the season. The brothers have honestly only one option that I can think of, and that's to lease a dozer if they can find one and focus all their efforts on getting down to pay dirt. This will hit them hard financially, but they truly have no other option. So the Claytons may have bitten off more than they can chew this season. Like Team Misfits, it's going to be a bust. But let's talk about the gold. So the brothers are sitting just over 80 ounces of gold for the season. Like Team Misfits, they fought for every ounce. This week, a miracle will happen. Nothing too crazy to get them back in the game of 500 ounces, but they will surpass Team Misfits and mine over 35 ounces of gold. Next up is Parker. So this season he's been on fire, and he's on pace to set a new record and standard on Gold Rush. His Yukon side is basically on autopilot, and his Alaskan operation, it's still getting its feet wet. This week Parker's going to be focusing on his Alaskan claim. He has 900 ounces to get before the end of the season. Parker's custom-built wash plant will be making its way to the claim this episode, and honestly, it's about time. His rental, Little Red Rocket, it'll be pushed to the side for now, but towards the end of the season, he'll be running both wash plants to hit his goal of 1,000 ounces. For issues this week, Parker will be behind setting up his new wash plant and working the bugs out. I have a gut feeling that Mitch will be up in Alaska this week, getting the new wash plant dialed in. Other than that, Parker's sides will be running very smooth. For gold this week, Parker will pass last week's total of 387 ounces. He'll have both Lucifer and Big Red running 24/7, and between both wash plants, he'll mine just under 500 ounces of gold. For Parker's Alaskan operation, he'll need a new scale that actually reads troy ounces. After getting his new wash plant set up, running, get the bugs out, and moving the old one out of the way, his crew will mine between 60 to 65 ounces of gold off only 3 days of running, proving to his crew and Parker that his new wash plant is a game changer. Last up is Team Beats. So Tony's in the same situation as Parker. They're both running out of ground. His blue and cold cut, they're done for the season, and it's up to that 80 pup cut to deliver the gold. Tony does have that cut down to pay dirt, and he'll be running that pup cut till the end of the season. For issues this week, if it wasn't for his oldest son Kevin, Tony would be going through his equipment like crazy. This week though, Kevin's going to have his hands full with that trommel. So earlier in this season, Discovery Channel gave us a sneak peek into what's to come, and it shows Tony using a monitor blasting the side of a hill full of gold. I don't think he's going to resort to that yet, but in the next couple episodes, he will. Let's talk about the gold now. So Tony and his crew pulled in exactly 323 ounces of gold 2 weeks ago, and he's sitting at 2,870 ounces of gold. This week with the issues from his trommel, the Beats crew will mine between 300 to 310 ounces of gold. There you have it, Gold Rush fans. If you like the content and you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. It's free to do, and I greatly appreciate it. Till the next time.